Hang on just a moment as I enter the VR world. Well, good evening. I'm here in Taro Temple and streaming live from within. The holiday season has begun since we are through this Thanksgiving holiday. So I have an initial reading request from Twitch and Parasocial Parry. What I'd like you to do is simply ask your question in chat, and I'll have a look at it, and I will answer it from right here. What do the next 6 months look like for me? Great question. Okay, so what I'm going to do, Parasocial Parry, is up there on the big screen with the 3 cards. I'm going to make those cards change a few times, and the final set of 3 will be the card drawing for your reading about the next 6 months. So let me quickly go over and make my randomization work. One, two, three, four. Okay. Parasocial Parry. Let me get my little laser pointer from over there. All right. Next 6 months. Now, let's just look at the general lay of the land with the 3 cards that we see. And what we've got sort of is this kind of a bit of a sort of a preoccupation over here on the left going on with this queen character, sort of a pondering preoccupation with something, leading us into this sort of symbolic representation of the 8 of a material suit of the coins. And it's sort of signifying some richness coming in, a density, leading us over to this kind of romantic image of, sort of a magical moment during a quiet time, and there's a pouring out, a giving sort of a quality. So there's a sense of some kind of consideration going on, leading to something more involved and encompassing, and that brings us to some larger, more profound sense of being. Okay, now that's just sort of the very first initial quality of the 3 cards. Let's talk about the 3 and what they signify. On the left, we have something that we can sort of consider ours, is kind of a done deal. It's something we can rely very well on. We don't have to really worry too much about it. In the middle, we come into something that the cards want us to think about, be aware of in the immediate sense now, like right away. First thing to think of as the central factor here about these next 6 months that you're asking about. And the card on the right is what we want to shoot for and where it's all leading us, what we're going to see, what's to be gained for ourselves over this 6-month course of time. Now, on the left, something we've got that we can rest on, and that is a court card, the Queen of Coins. In the French, the Reine de Denier. Horrible French, but no, nonetheless. But it's the coins, it's the earth symbol, it's the material sign, money, wherewithal, things you need, things you want to have, things you can touch, things that you can eat, that you can move around, that you can invest, that you can pay for things with. All of that kind of sustenance in the world that we require and that we want more and more of. That's this queen. She's deeply concerned with this materialist aspect of her nature and of life. She's pondering it very carefully. She's holding it up as a signifier for something that she's trying to remind herself to stay focused on for the time being. And she has this focus. She has this ability to calmly manipulate the world and material things to her advantage, but not in a selfish way. That's why the queen is here, because the queen is a force of abundance, of nurturing, feeding, caring, growing. She's a symbol of growth, but done in a very calm, secure, sort of self-aware manner. Okay, she doesn't do things too quickly. She doesn't she's not lazy, she's not aggressive. She's got a balance about her. And she takes that balance ability into her dealings with the material needs of life for her and others around her. This could be business. So the cards are basically suggesting that you have, over the course of these 6 months, an ability to rely upon this quality, to fall back on it because it's on the left. Always seek to fall back on this calm, measured, intelligent, experienced approach to handling the material or financial affairs for yourself, your family, your work, your business, what have you. Depend upon that nature that's already present inside you, that you've relied upon before. Now, you're relying on that. You rest secure in that. And that brings you to the present moment of something to ponder, which is again the material sign. And now it's coming up large like a giant flashing neon sign, and it's saying perfection, incredible ability, an astonishing ability to bring things to fruition, to bring out the best in the project, in the endeavor, in the business. It's got a perfection and balance. The number 8 always represents, it can represent great activity and effort, but it's always informed by a coloration of perfection and balance. And that balance plays very nicely with what we just said about the queen and her balance, her natural ability to handle things in an even-handed, calm manner. Well, the 8 represents this not only perfect balance and achievement, but infinite possibility for change and growth. That's why you've got that 8, which is, that symbol for infinity. 8 is simply a vertical version of that infinity number and or symbol. So this is very important because this queen and her abilities that she has absolute faith in leads her or you into this abundant perfection of your endeavors over the next 6 months. And really keep that in mind, because the card is in the middle and it's saying really keep in mind the fact that you are shooting at success here. It's going to be difficult to avoid success with this card sitting there. Keep it in mind, it says. Now, that brings us over the longer haul, over the 6 months. We're sort of going over this arc. And what it's saying is generosity, an ability to take what you are gaining, what you have learned, what you have experienced, what you have built, what you have earned, and you're able to pour that back into the stream of life. Now, that stream of life may represent different things. It could represent your own business. It could represent the people you work with, or the people who work for you, or even the people you work for. It just represents this general idea of taking this abundance, this new thing that it could be awareness, it could be new skills, talents, it could be financial, but it is a something that is worth gold to you and other people as a result of your abilities to bring in material success. And this card is one of the major arcana cards in tarot, one of the big ones. And that means that it's a deep signifier of your personality and how your mind operates, where you, or at least if you, it's possible that if you haven't operated that way, it's something that is deeply in there that you ponder at times, or you have an instinct toward. And this card is suggesting that you follow that instinct and remember how valuable it is for a person to be a medium between realms, between, you attain things, you learn things, and you achieve awarenesses and successes, and to be a medium, a transferer to, possibly it could mean giving to people that don't have as much, or don't have as much success, or simply pouring resources into building up the foundation further of your own business, your own enterprise, whatever, your own family. But that idea of sharing and spreading the wealth of abundance that is coming, this is a very positive arc over time, over your 6 months from your question. So pay attention to these materialistic concerns. They're very important right now. Rely upon your ability to handle them in a very even-handed, confident manner, and you will find yourself in abundance and sharing that abundance um, with those around you. So that is your reading, and I kind of like the result of that one, actually. Um, I think that's a good 6-month prognosticator. Let me have a look at the chat. Parasocial Perry, yes. Oh, good. I see. I just looked at the chat, and I see you said you have the business opportunity coming, and I think that's awesome. So this is a great set of cards for that. Just in a general sense, keep its message in mind, and that's all you need to remember. Now I'm going to switch over from our Twitch friend um, with that question from chat into what we're going to do here is I see you raising your hand there, and I'm just making sure I have my hand raise thing turned on. So just give me 1 second and I'll come right over to you. Um, Mandalon, go ahead. You can ask me a question, and then we'll change up the cards randomly, and I'll give you the message from the tarot.
Oh, so I have to ask a question? It's not like a general like
Yeah,
card reading.
you can have a general reading if that's what you want. If you would prefer a general reading, that absolutely. Or if you have a particular question you've been thinking of, you can ask that. It's totally up to you.
Question. Okay. Um, Maybe my question is, I feel like it's probably gonna be a why, but I feel like throughout my life, these past couple of years, things have been changing dramatically,
Okay.
and not to the bad, but like I'm not who I was 4 or 5 years ago,
Okay.
and I think it's a short period of time. For someone to change dramatically, I feel like I lost a lot of friends.
Okay.
Um, Business has been better, but like the social wise, I'm not there anymore. I'm not as happy how I used to be.
Okay.
I used to play the guitar a lot, now I don't. Things
Okay.
like that. But when it comes down to financially, things have been better,
Yeah.
but socially they haven't. So I kind of want to know like why that's going on, kind of thing.
That's a really interesting question. Okay. Um, Okay, you give me a number from 1 to 10, and that will be the number of times I randomize the cards, and that will form your reading.
Okay. Um, let me do 5.
Okay, hang on 1 second. Let me make those things change 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. Let me get my little, where'd my laser go? I always manage to lose my little laser. At any rate, I can always spawn another one. Give me 1 second to do that. There we go. Okay. There. All right. So there's been a lot of change recently. There's there's been a lot of change recently. I'm going to have to mute people before I hang on 1 second.
It's okay, I'll mute myself.
Okay. Hang on. I'm just dealing with some. Okay. I'm trying to figure out my laser pointer situation. Okay. Well, all right. Okay, so there's been a lot of change, and what these cards are basically suggesting on first glance about this issue of, you know, getting more success and moving forward in life in sort of a business way, but then kind of regretting these sort of limitations you have socially and with activities you used to enjoy. That's sort of a natural progression. And the cards are basically showing, in a very quick way of looking at them, this a great deal of thought and ability leading to a kind of admixture of different things that perhaps can present some confusion, but also opportunity, and moving on forward from that into finding renewed creative energy and taking some real direct actions. Okay, so that's a very, very, very broad view of what the cards are saying, but let's look at them more specifically. And on the left, basically that left-hand position is a factor in you, something you have that you're able to rely upon, that's in you, and you don't have to worry about. It's not going to abandon you. You can always fall back on it. That's why it's on the left. And the card in the middle is something that the reading wants you to think about immediately. It wants it to be in the forefront of your mind as you step forward into tomorrow. And then on the right is something that you're shooting for, that you're going to go after, and a goal to attain. So let's look at the left. The left is something that's in you that you can say, I've got this. I know I can always rely on this strength of mine. And that is the 8 of Swords. And the swords are the mental realm. They are the thinking, the analytic, the intellectual, the studious, the ability to apply intelligence, problem solving to whatever should come up in your business, but not just your business, in your own personal life, in playing a musical instrument, anything that requires you to run your brain, to use your smarts. And that 8, I'm I'm sorry, I'm reading the number. The nine is the number of the ability to persevere and push through with your brain, with your thought, and complete whatever you set your mind to. So that nine, it comes in and it says, okay, it's been a hard road. It's been a long development cycle, let's say. Your business has been going through some major project and it's been a hard one, but we're almost there. But then there are all these straggling problems, and I have to really keep it together to get everybody through this. And it can be real tiring. There can be a lot of antagonism, but I have this innate ability and strength of mind to get through so that the project is wrapped up and packaged and delivered. And that's just a general, I'm using these sort of business terminologies, but that same thing, that same ability applies to any endeavor where you have to put a lot of thought in, where communication is required. Swords are also the 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 symbol for communication. It's all kind of the intellectual airwaves around your life. And that nine is your ability to really finish things and get them fully realized. So you've got it. Okay. You know you've got that. Now, the middle card is coming up and saying, oh, ho, ho, this is really what you want to focus on now. Don't worry about that nine of swords because you know that's already built into you. But what we want you to think about now is this temperance card. And temperance is a major arcana card in the tarot, meaning it's really important to your personality and psyche, even if you're not aware of it necessarily. Um, and what temperance is able to do is take a whole wide array of different things, possibly totally in conflict with each other, and put them together in and to form something new, to form something perhaps unexpected. And if they are in conflict, she's able to temper that conflict. She's able to blend it into something new. Like you have two or three people all squabbling in an office, arguing. Well, I want to do it this way. I want to do it that way. No, 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 no. And you are able to say, well, you have a really good point, and you have part of your point is really good, and part of your point's really good. So let's take the best of your three ideas and let's see if we can just put them together into a new approach that none of us have thought of. And that's a way of making everybody sort of stop yelling at each other and they go, oh yeah, okay, I guess I won't be, throwing pencils at you for the rest of the day. This good. Let's think about this. That's the skill that temperance has. So the cards are saying that skill is going to be really important. And it may be a factor in your social life that you kind of have these doubts about, like, okay, well, fewer friends now. It could be because you're concentrating on business. So the card is saying, well, you've got these conflicting things. You've got business and you've got social. And in social, I'm including things that you like to do, like playing a musical instrument. So business and social, and they're kind of at war with each other because you have to go to the office or wherever and do your work, and you have to work really hard to make that work. And then, of course, you can't go out to dinner over here or the movies or with these guys over here. So you're like, well, those friends kind of went away. Well, the temperance card is simply saying, focus exactly on this issue. Focus on balancing in the right hand and the left hand these two conflicting things and find where they meet. And that's not easy. It hasn't been easy for me. It's not easy for anyone I've ever known to mix business success with personal stuff they want to do. But the card is saying that this balancing is absolutely possible and is going to happen if you keep your question in mind. Just sort of thinking about it gently each day, like, okay, how can I, maybe I can do this part of the project tomorrow morning a little earlier, and that'll give me more time tonight to leave a little earlier and go out with and meet my friends for a beer or whatever. But that kind of balanced thinking, tempering the differences, is what this card is after. Because she knows that this left card over here, this 9 in the intellect, is there as a fallback. You always can fall back on that skill at finishing projects to get the work done in any realm. Now all this focus on tempering and balancing conflicting things leads to this enormously active card, the Knight of Wands, batons in the French. And that is the symbol of fire and passion and creativity. So you're bringing all this active energy into building whatever it is you wish to create. But it also, this same energy for creation works in both places. It works in the business sense and it works in the personal and music sense, because the fire of the wand, that's the fire element card, is representative of every instinct in you to create, all of your desires. If you have a strong desire for friendship or a strong desire to play the guitar more, that's the card that represents going after that, following that instinct. That's why it's the knight on horseback. He's very active. He takes aggressive action to seek his goal. And so it's saying, look for this opportunity to pursue what it is you want without worry. Push for it. Take action. Visible action. It could be something as simple as calling your friends and saying, you know what, I'm blowing work off tonight. We're going to the darn movie. Because I can always fall back on these abilities with the 9 of Swords to finish. I know I'm not going to not finish my work. I know that because I have all this skill. I know that I'm not going to mess things up because I am able to balance these things because the tarot told me so. Yes. And so think about this ability to handle and balance these conflicting areas, and then find the places where you can really take decisive action to pursue what it is you want with all this creative drive. This, by the way, also works in the romance realm, the wands. They are the drive behind romance and your affection for someone. And the knight pursues that without any sort of self-doubt. So there you have it. That's pretty straightforward, actually. I'm going to unmute. Hang on one second, and There, I think everyone's unmuted now. So I hope that rings a bell for you.
Cool. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So now let me check my host panel. Okay. And I have to look at chat. See, yeah, what I'm doing is I'm checking the, oh, here we go. I see the little red 1 popped up. And Docent, you can ask your question. Docent, go ahead.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Yeah.
How do I get a turn?
Oh, you just ask me. You can just ask right now.
No, I mean, like, are you gonna, like, I don't have any questions about.
You can ask anything you want. But you don't even have to have a specific question. You can just ask for a general reading.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. Yeah. Could I do that?
Absolutely. So pick a
Okay,
number from 1 to 10.
The whole number?
Yeah.
7.
Okay, hang on one second. I will change those cards 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, I'm going to mute everyone so I don't get any speaker feedback, which sometimes happens. Okay. This is a general reading. And the first splash of impression that our 3 cards make basically just suggests to me I'm ready. I'm realizing or ready to realize a new thing and take off in pursuit of it. That's the basic flash of meaning that I get. Now, the 3 cards. Card on the left, something you've got sort of built in, ready to go, that that's strong for you and you can rely on it and fall back on it in almost any situation. Card in the middle, something we want you to think about now. Card on the right, where you're headed, what you're getting, what's coming. Okay, let's talk about the left. And what we've got is the 5 of Swords, which is your mental. Again, we have the intellect coming up, just like in the prior reading. Your ability to think things through, to handle mental tasks at work, at home, wherever. Anything that requires your brain, your smarts, anything that requires communication with people, resolution of conflicts, discussion. You're in a meeting, you're getting through all the details with a group of people, you're thinking it through, you're trying to come to some sort of an agreement. That's what swords are all about. And the 5 of Swords is basically saying, uh-oh, here's a new idea. Uh-oh. Nobody thought of this before. I don't know how to handle this new idea. And it comes in and it's a little bit unsettling. It comes in and it's like, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can handle this because it's changing everything. That's what the 5 is. But that is something that you have experienced before, that you can deal with, that you can handle. You have an ability there to handle that kind of change, a new idea coming in. It doesn't necessarily freak you out. That's why the card is sitting here on the left, something you can depend on. You can depend on change happening. You can depend on new ideas coming in that are a bit unsettling sometimes. Okay, so they do, and you can handle and get through them. Okay, now that leads us to what to really focus on in the near sense. And it's a 7, and it's wands, the fire element, the creative force, the drive behind everything you want to create. That can be relationships, it can be projects, it can be anything you want to build, if you want to build a group of ideas, if you want to write something, you're driven to get a certain kind of job or become a certain kind of person. That drive to create anything is represented by this suit of wands. And the 7 is again an ability, sort of like the ability with swords. It's this ability to analyze and learn things, but temper them with a spiritual sense and a new awareness of yourself and the nature of things that's not obvious to everyone. And the 7 means you can take that new knowledge, that new skill and ability, and a new awareness, and apply it to everyone's benefit. It's like you can take action with these new things you're learning. So something's coming that the cards kind of want you to be aware of soon that require this kind of application of your new understanding in some area. It could just be about yourself. It could be about some dynamic in a relationship, but your ability to apply that to everyone's benefit in the situation. And that's what that 7 is saying. Think about it. Think about that. Keep that right up in the front of your vision. And if you do, the cards are saying it will lead you to this major, major card, which is the very first card of the tarot. And it doesn't even have a number. And it's the Fool card. And the Fool isn't a stupid fool. He's the fool of being enthusiastic seeker. He's able, or she, to set out on a new journey that they don't know where it's going to lead. They don't know the end, the outcome, but they go, hey, I'm going anyway. I don't care. And even if little things kind of bug me along the way, I'm going to keep going, because you'll notice the main thing about the card is he's walking down the road and this little dog is like tearing his pants apart, and he's not swatting at the dog. He's not saying, hey, get away. He's like, well, whatever. That's what dogs do. I don't mind. A dog is a dog is a dog. I'm me. If the dog wants to come along and rip up my pants, it's not gonna bother me. So the card is saying, have an element in your approach to these new ideas and to this ability to use your creative energy. Keep in mind that sense of the fool's enthusiastic journey, setting out on a whole new trip. Something new begins and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I got to go for this. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going out the door. I'm going for this because this is going to go somewhere really interesting. So that's kind of what you're looking forward to here. And there you have it. I'm going to unmute everybody. Yeah, you should be unmuted. So
that was
I have a question.
that was great. That was really, really accurate. So I know exactly what you're talking about. So I'm good. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
That was me.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Now I have here hand raise up from Calico. Calico, you are next. Where's Calico?
All right, that's me.
Calico, how are you?
Right here.
You can come a little forward here. It'll make it easier for you.
Sure.
Yeah, and and so you can ask any kind of question you like. You can even just say, "Oh, just a general reading." It's your choice.
I guess I would like a general reading. Yeah, that would be nice. General reading.
Okay. So now all you need to give me is a number between 1 and 10.
All right. 6.
6. Hang on one second, and I will change the cards 6 times. 1,
I want to know
2,
what they do in that card.
3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, God. Okay. All right. Well, okay. You have some major deals coming. Okay. Now hang on a second. Let me mute everybody.
Oh no.
Oh, no, this is not, don't worry. This is not a no. This is good. Okay. I'm going to mute everybody so I don't get speaker feedback. Okay. So Calico, here's the deal. You've got 3 cards. Okay. And first impression I get is great effort to change things up, leading to kind of big feelings. And then there's like a big decision to make. And there's a lot of emotion and feeling around all of this. Okay, that being said, let's get in the details. On the left, this is something that you know you can do. Okay? You can rely on this strength. In the middle, something that's basically going to be now. It's something to really just sort of open up to and let in and think about now. And on the right, you have the card basically saying, this is where we're headed. This is the thing that is coming. Okay. Let's go back to the left. Left, something you've got, something that is innate. And that's a big card, major card, 10th card of the major set in the tarot, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is like, sort of a cliche symbol. It's like the wheel of changing fortune. Our lives go through the wheel and change and blah, 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 blah. And well, except that the image is just a little odd. It's kind of, I mean, it's got a handle and there's nobody turning the wheel. So the wheel is apparently stuck. It's not moving. What the card is saying is there's a handle here. You have to turn it. You have to grab it with your virtual hand and you have to crank it and turn it yourself through your own effort. And only then will you move the cycle of life forward to the next stage. So there's like some stage of development. It can be in any realm of life, whatever is most important, what's on your mind right now. And this card is saying, you turn this handle. You're able to do this. That's why this card is on the left. It's the thing that you have an ability for, even if you don't quite realize it yet. Turn the handle, make the choice, make the change. Now, choice, the choice word is important in this reading because it comes back later at the end. So it's very interesting that you've got the handle here representing, hey, make the choice. It's important, and you know you can do it because I'm on the left. Now, it's saying, okay, we know you can make the choice. You've got the power. Right here in the middle, it's saying, so what's going to happen now? What do you have to really think about now? And you come into the cups, which is the heart. It's love. It's all your emotional life and feeling. And the 5 is the number of, whoa, something new is happening here, and I can't figure this out for the life of me. Oh man, this has destabilized me, and I'm like, I don't quite know which end is up because my heart's going all over the place right now, and I can't quite rationalize any of it. I can't think my way through it. I just have to let this happen because this is the 5 of Cups. It's like, boom, it just hit. This is sort of like what happens if you run into someone on the subway and bang, you're like, oh my gosh, I have some weird feeling I'm going to be with this person and I don't even know how to handle this feeling. It's like that. It's like a new feeling is coming, and just be prepared for it. But if it's working in tandem with that wheel of fortune on the left, it's sort of implying that this new feeling may be a life changer, and you have to be willing to grab that handle and move through with it, to turn the wheel and keep it rolling. That may be the implication. But whatever that implication is, what it leads you to is the Lover's card, another big major arcana card. So you're reading on both ends, left and right, has major, big, deep cards. And this Lover's card implies, because there are 3 people involved here, there's some kind of a decision. There's confusion. There's feelings involved. There are multiple people involved. And there's like, oh, how am I going to do this? I have feelings going on over here, and I have over here, and someone here that might not want this, and the other person wants this other thing, and I am in the middle, and I'm like trying to figure it out, and I don't even know how to make this decision. Well, that's what's coming. There's a decision to make, and because of the nature of this card, it's playing in with the Cups card, the unsettled emotions and new feelings of the Cups card in the middle play very nicely with the very emotional card of the Lovers. Again, dealing with heart and feeling. It's not just pure decision-making time. It's figuring out your feelings that are just getting stronger and stronger. And they become deeper and more profound. So that's why that card is there. It's saying, listen to your heart. You see at the top, there's like a Cupid figure, very sort of Valentine's classic thing, but it also represents being able to hear what your heart is telling you. And sometimes that can be a very quiet voice. So the card is kind of saying, listen to that. It's up there, way in the back of your brain. Pay attention to it because it'll help with these major decisions or major decision that involves your heart to a great extent here. So, taking the wheel of fortune, moving things along, most likely with an emotional quality to the whole package. Unsettled emotions, new emotions, leading to decision time where you're going to have to listen very carefully to what your heart is saying. Don't ignore it. Don't overanalyze. Let the heart be your guide, is what this card wants you to do. I'm going to unmute. So it's a reading that has a little bit of ambiguity in it because it's so heart oriented and leads to situations that you have to be able to sort of work your way through and rely.
I wanted to ask you for, it was funny because I wanted to ask for a love reading, but it's funny that this ended up turning out to be kind of like a love reading. So that's like a big coincidence. So it ended up working out. But everything that you said pretty much resonated with me. So it's pretty much spot on. And I thank you for that enlightenment.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad it actually fit with sort of what you were thinking, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that about the tarot. It happens that way a
Yes,
lot.
it's
I
spot
really
on.
don't even know why, you know. All
Picks up that
right.
energy. I definitely feel that.
That's really good. There's someone here named Demigod. Pretty cool name. Okay, Demigod. I think I see. Yeah, there you are. Hi, Demigod. All right. What would you like to ask about?
My guy, you have to talk, okay?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I would like a general reading, please.
Okay, give me a number between from 1 to 10.
1 to 10, 5.
Okay, hang on 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, general reading. Now I'm going to mute again so that we don't get the feedback going. All right, Demigod. Now, first impression. Cards. Wow, we've got, again, a reading with 2 major arcana cards in it. Okay, so we've got real sort of adventurous ability and kind of adventure seeker and ability to sort of go out and just get it done, make it happen. Lots of activity here. Action, putting things to work, a whole lot of self-confidence, some confusion about emotions and wanting to know more, to investigate. And then we have on the end a big change, a leaving of one thing and a moving into another. Okay, so on the left card here, this is a quality that's sort of ingrained that you can rely on and fall back on. Middle card, think about it now. Right card, where we're headed, what to try and get to. Now, let's go to the left. That's the Chariot. And the Chariot is a person who kind of naturally wants to take command of a situation And that can be any situation, work, it can be, family, it can be relationships or friends. The person just naturally wants to take charge and basically doesn't wait around for things to happen, but goes after them and makes them happen. And it can sometimes be very, very aggressive and domineering, but that's just a thing, that's an ability that you have that you don't have to worry about. In other words, you're not going to be a shrinking violet and sit back and just go, oh, I'm just going to wait and see what everybody does, and then I'll just do what they do. That's not what the Chariot does. The Chariot just says, nope, nope, nope. I know the deal. I'm doing it. And everybody, come on, follow along behind me. Leadership. That's another word for the Chariot. Now, you've got that. That's a skill that's going to carry you through all of this. And here in the middle, you have the cards saying, okay, let's think about this right away. And that is the Knight of Cups. And the cups are your feeling, your love, your heart. It tends usually toward romance, but it doesn't have to. It can be your heart, your feeling that your love of what you do, that you pour into your work, that feeling for it, that you could never do anything else, or you could never be with anyone other than this person, or, that kind of feeling. And the Knight, again, just like the Chariot card, you see another horse, is very active. He's very strong and skilled and fearless and is able to move and take action. But in this case, it's taking action in the realm of feeling. So he's not afraid of his feelings. He's looking at that card while he's bouncing up and down, charging on his horse. And he's still got that cup, and he's still looking inside it to see what he really feels for a person or a situation, or what he really loves to do in life. He's always looking to follow his heart. He's like, if it doesn't follow my heart, I don't want it. And that's what the Knight says. And he has that same confidence as the Chariot on the left. That's the same idea magnified. Now, what that brings you to is, if you have two people like this with such active personalities, able to dominate, able to take command of themselves and a situation, and use that in the emotional sense, then what you've got coming up is this change, is the ending of something. In other words, you're not afraid to walk away from something and say, that is over. But the key thing about this 13th card is that this character here is kind of, more than anything else, kind of a farmer, and is using these pieces, of people. He's actually fertilizing the ground with what has died, what he's done with, what he's already gone through. And he's saying, this may be over, but I'm using it and what I got from it to enrich the next thing that's coming. So this card leads to the beginning of a new cycle in life. And if it's in romance, it could be a new relationship that builds successfully upon, excuse me, whatever went wrong in the prior relationship. That's what this card really talks about. It's basically using death. It's using the end of things as fertilizer and enrichment for the next thing. And that's why he's pictured tilling the ground with these various, hands and feet and excuse me. And so the general attitude of the reading here is fearless pursuit of what you want, leading to ending one thing and preparing yourself for the next major cycle of development in your life. Get ready for it because it's coming. That's basically what's going on there.
That's unbelievably spot on. Like, sorry, I got a little emotional there. That was like super spot on.
Oh, that's really good.
I really, yeah, I really appreciate that, man. It's a lot of things that I've had on my mind, and I always wanted to clarify with spirit. But I mean, even the change in career, I'm starting off my own little side business, and
Yeah.
with crypto and all this, but also with a relationship. I mean, it's a perfect example because I do use that. I use everything that has died to fuel my fire instead of bringing me down. I use it to
Yep.
keep going.
Yep.
And
Well,
like
yeah.
you said about my heart too, anything that's not in my heart, I just can't accept it.
That's, I
So
mean,
that was amazing.
I think that's the only way to be, really. You know, I kind of wish I could get this reading for myself. So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this did a lot, and I can't thank you enough. That's amazing.
you're very welcome. I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you so much.
I think I have, let me check. I'm always forgetting how to check what okay, yes, I have about 15 more minutes. That's good. Okay. So I have The Girl You Love is up. And where's The Girl You Love? There you go. The Girl You Love. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep. I can hear you.
Okay. I kind of wanted a general reading too as well.
Okay. General reading coming up. All you have to do is think of a number from 1 to 10.
Okay. 4.
Okay, hang on 1 second. 1, 2, 3.
I'm
4.
gonna mute myself so there's no background.
Oh, I'll mute everyone. You don't have to worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, The Girl You Love. I am going to first give you my very initial impression of the layout here. We've got a lot of really solid, strong feeling in your heart. We've got major sort of bringing together, a coupling that has a really good effect on material life. And then we've got really sort of a balanced thinking and sense of something, some kind of a great agreement coming. Now, that's very, very fast overall. The reading is all number cards. And what that indicates is that it's basically a reading saying, look, you don't have to worry too much about this being a big, big deal lasting a long time. This reading is focusing on the near term. It's saying, think about this over the next little while, like the next few days, the next couple of weeks. But it's really not going to have much effect beyond that. It's saying there's something important in the near term for you to work out. Okay. Now on the left, this card with the sense of something that's built into you, that's innate, that's already there, that's happening, that you know you can rely on in any situation. And that is the 4 of Cups, heart, love, feeling again. And the 4 is solid. It's strong. It's dependable. It's like your heart, your feelings are really strong, are really deep, and are solid, and people can rely on them. You can rely on them. You know what your heart tells you, and you can really sort of make a lot of decisions based on that, and you can stick with it. And your feelings, when they're there, they tend to be strong and solid. Like, if it's a relationship, then you want that relationship to really be something that's lasting. The 4 is always lasting. It's the drive to build a solid foundation and to think about the home. I want a home. I want a sense of where I belong, where is my heart comfortable and safe. Safety is in the 4. So you're able to seek that. You want that safety. If anyone whose heart is strong and exposed wants that sense of safety and a home base to come to. Okay, so that's there. You know that. That's in you. That's part of you. It's a part of your puzzle piece. Okay. And that brings us to something to like ponder now right away. And that is the coins, the 2, and its enormous potential in coupling, in bringing 2 things together, 2 people perhaps. But the coins lean toward the financial. Where's my laser? Let me get my laser again, because I like to. The coins lean toward the material world, money, apartment, house, job, car, clothes, health, anything that you can hold in your hand that you need to have to live. And that too shows coupling leading to the symbol of infinity. The 2 ends of the blue ribbon are coming together soon, not yet, but to form basically an 8, which is the symbol of perfection and infinite potentiality. And this is in the realm, it could be money, it could be physical. But it's saying that 2 things are coming together. And remember, this heart, the strong, solid desire for a strong feeling and relationship, always knowing your heart and wanting it to be safe, informs this thing that we need to think about right now, which is bringing 2 things together, 2 elements. It could be 2 people, it could be you and someone else working together, or it could be a relationship beginning. It could be 2 elements. It could be like a job over here and a job over there. 2 things are floating around out there, and they need to be brought close together for you to become prepared for your next big thing. The 2 is always the gathering of force, coming together, the 2 elements to say, okay, now that we're together, we're ready to do what we need to do. And that's what this card wants you to be aware of just in the next few days, actually. And it's saying, okay, then very shortly thereafter, coming up, is something to do, again, with a 4, just like the 4 of Cups, but now we're in the realm of swords and the mind. And it's a settling, and it's like a quieting of the mind, a settling down of possibly tumultuous thoughts or overthinking, but it's saying, okay, I've got it figured out finally. And I know what to do, and it's totally, this is a solid decision that I'm making. And also, not only is the swords about intellect and decision making, it's about communication. And so this 4 works in tandem with the 4 over here of your heart. So you've got this desire for solid, safe place for your heart and your feelings, matching up with this desire for like calm, secure, open, safe communication, where things are worked out intelligently without a bunch of turmoil. That's what the 4 always represents. But it requires the coming together of 2 elements that are going to help one another. And those 2 things might be drifting around very near you, right now. And the card is trying to say, open up to that. Let yourself make that step to bring these things together. And then you will achieve this safe place for your heart and your thoughts. That's what it looks like. So,
Gather myself together. I've been crying the whole entire time because you were spot on. Um, I'm in a new relationship that's barely a year old, and I got offered a promotion to senior technical engineer,
yeah. Oh,
but
that's great. Yeah.
they they are actually negotiating my salary right now,
Oh, that is
and
awesome.
this, this is the first time they've ever had to negotiate a salary because my supervisor offered a $40,000 raise,
Yeah.
and, and they thought that was unusual, and that's what he felt like I deserved.
So,
Now, my
so
relationship is new.
yeah.
We're going through some things. Um, so like you said, my heart is not. I need a strong,
Yeah. Yeah.
strong heart, strong
Totally.
relationship.
Yeah.
The second one you said probably was about money versus the two, which
Yeah.
is the promotion.
There
I
you
don't
go.
know
Yeah.
how much I'm going to be making when I get the promotion
Yeah.
because they are still negotiating this, and it is killing my mind. So my mind is not in the right place. So when you talk about the two coming together on the third one, my relationship and my mind, I need it to come together.
That's
So
right.
that's for the 4 years. And in January will be the 4 years that I've worked for this company, and that's when the promotion starts. And I am in this point where I don't know what's going on
Yeah.
in my entire life, and it is killing me.
Well,
So
that
everything was literally spot on.
yeah, and I mean that's what the great
And you
thing.
said it was temporary,
Yeah.
and it's literally two. It's temporary. It's 3 weeks. They have 3 weeks to let me know what's
Ah!
going on.
That yeah, well, see,
Cause
that's the thing, and the tarot is really good at giving you something to sort of like, let's say a week from now, you're kind of
like they
nervous, and
they
you,
can
let's say you get upset
yeah
about something, you can go, oh wait, that tarot idea, it said to not worry, and that
they
this,
might even let me know this week.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, and
how
so
you said that.
you can just sort of refer back to it in those moments, and
Mhm.
that's what tarot is really good for
Mhm.
because it calms you down when you do that. When you think of the
Spot
card
on.
image, it's like, oh yeah, these things are normal, I don't have to worry so much about it. So
Like you literally said short term, and it is literally short term. They have to let me know between now and the
yeah,
next 3 weeks in
yeah,
order for it to go in effect for
yeah,
January.
yeah.
So it's like it is really short term.
Well, I like that about tarot myself. So
Thank you so much.
you're very welcome. And now I'm going to have to wrap it up because, folks, guess what? It's
Mhm.
I'm hitting the 1 hour mark, and I have to. Oh, hold on. Yes, kitten.
Well, I know I didn't get a reading today. I was just wondering when you were going to open a room again because I was looking forward to that.
Oh yeah.
So, do you do it on certain days?
Actually, no, I haven't like totally solidified the schedule, but what I've been doing is this is the fourth one in here. And what I've been
Okay.
doing is like I've been like putting the event, activating it like maybe 2 hours ahead of time. So probably what'll happen is tomorrow is going to be exactly the same as tonight was from 6 p.m. Pacific time till 7. I'll
Okay.
probably activate the event tomorrow though much earlier. So in fact, I might activate the event for tomorrow tonight so that you'll see it in the list for
Okay.
the day. Um, yeah, and sometimes
Thanks.
I can run over time. Tonight, unfortunately, I can't. I have to leave like in 5 minutes. But but like tomorrow, I might be able to stay a little over time. So
And can I just one question
yeah,
as well that I've been wanting to know?
yeah,
So I had picked up a deck of cards and
yeah.
I was told by somebody that you cannot actually deal those cards or use them unless they are a gift given to you.
Okay, well,
So I was just wondering.
no, this is a misconception that comes from a lot of tarot readers don't really know where it started. Somebody said this in a book somewhere at some point. But now most of the books written about tarot, which I'm like a ridiculously silly collector of these books. I don't know why. Because once you've read a bunch of tarot books, then you start reading and it's the same book, like written with like a different title over and over again.
Yeah.
But most tarot people now say in their books, new books, oh, no, 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 this is a ridiculous idea, because if it were true, nobody would be reading tarot. Because you'd walk into a store and you'd see a beautiful tarot deck that you were like, oh, I want that. And you're like, wait, I'm not going to buy it because somebody told me.
That's why I was confused.
Somebody told me I have to be.
Because I was like, if you're drawn to it, doesn't that mean something?
That's the whole thing. If you're drawn to it, that's all you need to know. That's it.
See, that happened to me too when I was at the store. I was drawn to the cards, but I had no idea why.
Yeah.
And then people would shame you and be like, you can't buy those, they have to be given.
No, they don't have to be given. You have to give them to give the gift to yourself. That's what tarot is. Right? That's what see, if somebody says something like, oh, they have to be given to you, they're just trying to complicate something that's really simple. If you love something, do it. If you want to do a little ritual to make your cards more personal for you, to make you feel like you've activated them, you can do a little ritual. Like you can do things, some people say leave them out in the moonlight for a night.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You can, and that's totally cool.
Or cast good intentions.
Yes.
Or cast good intentions.
Yes, you do anything, but the whole point is, does it work for you? Because you're going to be reading the cards.
Right.
You're the important factor here, not some arbitrary person who gives you an arbitrary gift of a deck that you may not even like.
Gotcha.
So, okay, so I have to go. You can hang out and everything. I just have to run, and I'll see you guys. I'm going to do it tomorrow. So if you want to come back tomorrow,
see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Okay. Have a really good night.
Thank you.
Bye.